Barrel Buddies, episode 31. Today we're going to focus on some San Francisco production. So Seven Stills is based in San Francisco. So they do craft beer, like their Kahuna Shake IPA or their 8 pound per barrel IPA. And they try not to brew the same beers twice. They'll do different stylistically, but the fun thing about them is they're not the first to do whiskey from beer, but they're the first, or one of the first, to do craft great beer and then distill that beer into a whiskey. So where you've got other guys that are just like, oh, they're doing an okay beer or sometimes a crappy beer and they're distilling it into a whiskey. This is one of the ones, or one of the producers, where you're actually able to taste the beer that they make themselves that they distill into a whiskey.
Yeah, one thing that's important to note, I think, is that they're the only one that focuses on that specifically. There's other producers like Charbet that do really great beer-based whiskeys, but you know, this is definitely one of the more fine products. Yeah. They have a really large diversity. So, David, do you want to talk about the first two?
Yeah. So Clint Potter, mainly on the whiskey side, and then Tim Aubert, he's mainly on the beer side. So the first two I'll talk about one of their core lines, which is their Shaka Smoke, which is an oatmeal stout that's actually peated.
It's one of my favorites, by the way. I like dark, smoky things. Yeah. Can't help myself.
And then the Dark Star November, which is kind of their collaboration series. This one's done with Bottle Logic Brewing. So they do have their core lineup, which includes the Shaka Smoke. It has their Widt Nose and a couple others that they do year-round, but the majority of things that they focus on is this collaboration series. So the Dark Star November, again, Russian Imperial Stout, that we actually had for D&M at cask strength. So they have this one at the normal strength, but we had it for our American Whiskey Club members at cask strength, so that higher proof option. I'll let Jen talk about the other two that we've got.
Yeah, this one is the Tomahawk Whiskey. And this is made in collaboration with the Alvarado Street Brewery.
They're in Monterey.
Yeah, in Monterey. And so the reason they call it Tomahawk is a kind of hop, and it's a really beautiful floral, intense, citrusy, grassy type of hop, and it really shows through in the whiskey as well. Mm-hmm. Next we have the Widt Nose Whiskey, which is one of my personal favorites. You can see this little fish here on the bottle. Mm-hmm. And it's between Pack Brew Lab and the Seven Stills. So Pacific Brewing Laboratory is Pack Brew Lab. And this one is from the Widt Nose IPA, which is made with Vermont maple sugar and malted rye. So the flavors that come out on this are spicy and intense, like the rye whiskey, lots of pepper, earth game, and then you really get that maple syrup sweetness on the nose and palate as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, they're based in San Francisco. We got a little drawing back here. Their brewery and distillery is in the Bayview district of San Francisco, and their tap room is in the Outer Sunset, where they do like frescas and a lot of Mexican-inspired fare. So it's a good way to taste through some of their beers and, of course, their whiskey. They do great work, especially. I mean, it's not your grandpappy's whiskey, just based on the local artists that they use for all of their whiskeys. It's fun stuff, and it's interesting, and it's kind of a disruption to the craft beer and craft spirits out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, they really take it just a step further. This is such a fun project, and you know, all of the whiskeys that I've had from them I really enjoyed because they're all completely unique and different, and they're really limited edition, so you have to kind of buy them quickly if you're a fan of this style of whiskey, because you won't see them again. They do this one time, and usually it's with seasonal beers and things like that as well. Some of these aren't seasonal, but a lot of their productions are, so just something to note if you fall in love with it.
Absolutely. All right, Barrel Buddies episode 31 completed. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.